Good morning again, guys. Okay, didn't think it'd be this quick. I put up a second video, but I was doing what you guys do, going through my morning coffee and just kind of seeing what was going on in the world, see if there's anything I missed, and oh crap, come up with something that I wasn't even remotely close to aware of that I thought I'd let you guys know about. Food shortages, a different one that nobody's talked about. Okay. I mean, we all know about the wheat, we know about the baby formula, everything of the sort. Here's one that is kind of important: sugar. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you're diabetic, you're like, I don't care. But okay, I get you. But sugar is something that is obviously high in calories and you need for energy. So a sugar shortage is not exactly something that is going to go over too well, because the one thing you're going to need in an SHTF situation is fuel for your body, energy. All right. And I don't have to explain too much. I mean, you guys know, candy bars or your Coke or something, pastries, donuts, cakes, that sort of stuff has sugar in it. But there's a lot of stuff that has sugar in it that goes into your regular preps. All right. Some of them you're going to know. All right. Barbecue sauce, ketchup, obviously it has sugar in it. Okay. But did you know your canned soups? Go look at the labels on those, sugar in them. One a lot of us stock, pasta sauces of any sort. Okay. Pasta being a big staple. How about all those side dishes? Stovetop stuffing. Yeah, guess what? Has sugar in it. Here's the problem. All right. And I'm just going to kind of go from the top, some of the biggest ones. Brazil is the world's biggest producer and exporter of sugar. Kind of, we understand that one. All right. Last week, Brazil announced they're canceling the sugar contracts and changing their production from cane sugar to ethanol to take advantage of the high energy prices. Okay, capitalism at work. All right, but all right, they're going to try to make some money. Don't blame them there. Okay, money makes the economy go in Brazil just like it does here. All right, the estimates there are that could be 400,000 tons of raw sugar that is not going to be put into the marketplace. Okay, 400,000 tons is a lot. Okay, but that's not a drop in the bucket. Consider this: India, who's the world's second largest sugar producer and sugar exports, is considering putting bans on sugar exports to prevent a surge in domestic prices. That would affect about 10 million tons of sugar this year. Brazil's only 400,000. India's 10 million tons. Let's start doing the math here on how many pounds that is, okay? Remember, 2,000 pounds in a ton, right? 10 million tons. You already have Kazakhstan banning sugar exports. You have Pakistan already has a complete ban on sugar exports. Russia has banned sugar exports. You start looking at this and go, this is where the US gets its sugar. This is where Europe gets its sugar. Start thinking about those different things that you eat. All right. Now, if they're going to turn it into ethanol in Brazil, what do you see happening for the sugar that we produce here? I think sorghum is more produced in the United States than sugar cane. But again, if Brazil's moving toward the production of ethanol with it, what do you think the United States is going to do? Same thing. Remember, we're going to this E15 fuel, which don't put in your car. All right, I'm telling you this right now. Joe's an idiot. Ask any mechanic about putting E15 in your car. Not good. All right, you'll blow seals and valves real quick. This can turn into be a huge problem because sugar's in a lot more things than you think it is. And with food prices already going up, remember, every time you buy a jar of barbecue sauce, for example, the cost of the tomatoes, the cost of the brown sugar, the cost of the white sugar, the cost of the plastic, everything like that, all goes into what the end cost that you pay is. So when you have one ingredient that starts to get either very short or very expensive, your cost goes up. And again, we talk right into supply and demand. If there's no sugar supply, the price of this goes up. The price of everything goes up. And I mean, sugar is a staple that you need to have. I mean, do you have sugar in your preps? And I know a lot of people are going to go, oh, I don't use that much sugar. I drink my coffee black. We don't bake or whatever it is. I get that. You're talking about in regular times. You're not talking about it in an SHTF event. All right. You're not talking about when there is no food in the grocery store. You're not talking about having to make your own sauce. Make your own sauce that you're going to need sugar for to bake or whatever it is. You're going to want something sweet. I don't buy, we go through a 5-pound bag of sugar every 6 months or something. Not a big deal. Okay. But I have a donut with my coffee every morning. Okay. Something like that. Think about drink mixes, all that Kool-Aid that you have put away. So you're not just drinking plain old water, so you have something to keep the kids happy. Guess what you need for that? Sugar. All right. You're going to need the sugar for energy, for certain. Sugar is definitely a staple. Remember, at one point in parts of the world, sugar was a currency. This is how you start looking back in history and go, okay, this is very important to have. You need those calories. You need that energy. You need sugars in your diet to maintain a healthy metabolism, to maintain a healthy body, to be able to function. All right. Yes, you can get good sugars from fruits. Absolutely. And I know there's going to be somebody out there who goes, well, you shouldn't be eating processed sugar anyway. That's fine. We're not going from civilized society to Garden of Eden and going, no big deal. You're going to need some of these creature comforts in your life to phase yourself out. Cold turkey, anything doesn't work. Ever try to quit smoking? Cold turkey's tough, okay? Ask anybody who's ever had a drinking problem if quitting cold turkey is easy, all right? Ask a drug addict. There's plenty of people out there who are sugar addicts. You're not going to cut them off cold turkey and they're going to be okay. Guys, well, you can stock up some sugar. Can't tell you how much. I mean, I think I've got 100 pounds of sugar stocked up or something like that. That's plenty for me and Mrs. P. All right. But she takes sugar in her tea. What are we going to have to do in the way of baking or anything like that? There's going to be things that you're going to need sugar for. It's not a super expensive staple, but it's something definitely worth having. But I will definitely tell you this, make absolute sure that you are storing that well. Mylar bags, plastic buckets, sealed, everything. Bugs like sugar. Y'all know that. Make sure that is sealed tight, because the last thing you want to do is open up sugar in an SHTF event and see ants all over the place. Never thought about that one. Didn't see that one coming from a mile away. Then again, that's why we all communicate with each other about info we find out. We'll talk to you all later, maybe. Depends on what else I find. See y'all. Been well out.